I'm Mrs. Leone. I am the school counselor for the 6th through 8th grade students here at Feaster Charter, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the A through G high school requirements today. So let's start with what are the A through Gs? The A through G requirements are courses that students will take in high school that will make them eligible for any University of California, the UC system, or any California State University, the CSU system. So A through Gs are high school requirements. These are courses or classes that students have to take in high school in order to be eligible to attend either the University of California's or the California State University schools. So the first requirement you see on the screen is history. They have to take 2 years worth of history classes in order to be eligible. Then next you see English. That is 4 years. 4 years is required. Next is mathematics. So they have to take at least 3 years of math, but 4 years is recommended. So they say 4 years is recommended, and that's because it just makes them a stronger candidate. And when they start those college courses, they haven't had a gap year of like a math class. So it just helps connect the work when they start to college. Similar situation with science. 2 years is the minimum needed, but 3 years is recommended. Again, so just that consistency. Language other than English, 2 years is required, but 3 years is recommended. And that just helps that continued practice. And these years of recommended for these 3 different topics help make them a stronger applicant as well, like I previously said. Visual and performing arts, they need a minimum of 1 year, and a college preparatory elective is a minimum of 1 year. So if you have any questions about the college preparatory elective options, that's going to depend on which high school your student is attending. So if you want to know more about that, I would definitely reach out to the school counselor at the high school your student is going to be attending. Grade point average. So all those classes we just talked about, they need to have a minimum of a C or better. So the grade point average is a way to measure how well a student is doing in school. It's like a score that averages all the grades. So the grades are scored on a 4.0 scale. So an A gives them 4 points, a B gives them 3 points, a C gives them 2 points, a D gives them 1 point, and an F is no credit. They do not receive any credit. So every letter grade that they are earning is averaging to give them that grade point average on a 4.0 scale. So it's highly recommended that your student achieve and maintain a minimum of a 3.0. Any AP or IB classes are awarded 1 extra point. AP and IB classes are awarded 1 extra credit, and it supports them in college and gives them that extra credit on their transcript for college, and also makes them a stronger applicant as well. So the 4-year college admission process. These are some of the factors that they are looking at on applications and looking for. So for the CSU system, the California State Universities, they need a minimum of a 2.0 GPA, and they are looking for supplemental factors. So that means that they are looking at the number of courses exceeding a minimum of the A through G requirements. So looking for that extra than what's needed. Remember the 3 years and the 4 years for certain math and science. The household income, any extracurriculars and leadership involvement during their high school time, any educational program participation in high school, and other available information that would inform the campus to make the decision to admit them to their school. So really honing in those extracurriculars, those clubs, those sports, any leadership like ASB, the participation in those extracurriculars are really going to help your student's application for the CSU. The UC does have a minimum requirement of a 3.0 GPA. So the supplementals that they're looking for is a personal insight question that is called the PIQ. It's short answers. They used to do kind of like essays, but now it's more personal insight questions. The community service, they're really looking to see if your student has dedicated time to giving back to the community in some way. Extracurriculars, and the ELC and statewide guarantee. So there's some programs in schools that guarantee admission to the UC if they complete those requirements. If you want to know more, definitely ask your high school counselor. Community college admission. So if a student doesn't want to go to a 4-year, or maybe they don't have the financial resources to go to a 4-year, community college is not something to dismiss. That's a very good start. So the community college admission track just requires any California resident possessing a high school diploma. So all your student has to have is their high school diploma. They're not looking for any minimum GPA or any of those factors that we just talked about for the CSUs and UCs. What's great about our community college programs is once they are completed, it gives them the ability to transfer to a CSU or a UC once they complete the required units, or they can graduate and then apply to the UC or CSU system. Very affordable or very low cost, great way to get started and get some of those prereqs that they need done for much cheaper and cost-effective price. So some of our schools have a program called Compact for Success. What is Compact for Success? So Compact for Success is agreement between the SDSU and the Sweetwater High School District, which supports college readiness and successful transitions to a university. So in order to qualify and receive guaranteed admission into SDSU, the students must complete these 5 requirements. One is maintain continuous enrollment in Sweetwater from 9th to 12th grade and graduate from a Sweetwater school. They must complete all A through G requirements with the grades of C or higher by the end of senior year with no Ds and Fs during senior year. Meet the minimum CSU GPA requirement, requiring at the time of application and throughout the admission process. Meet all SDSU admission enrollment deadlines, including submitting a first-year student application to the SDSU by November 30th of that year, and demonstrate readiness in English and math. So you have more questions about this, please ask your Sweetwater High School counselor, but this is a fantastic program. Thank you so much for listening to A through G's today. And now you get to hear from Ms. Galyen about our high school options.
Hi, Feaster Charter families. Heather Galyen here. And you just heard from Mrs. Leon, who told you all about things like Compact for Success and the A through G requirements. Right now, we're going to be looking at some of the local high school options that you have for your 8th grader who will be in 9th grade next school year. Our first high school is Chula Vista High. Now, they have a program, it's called SPCA. It's their VAPA program, which is our visual and performing arts. So if you have a student who is really interested in things like musical theater, the mariachi band, or even does flags after school, you might want to look into this program. Now, do know that it does require an application in order to get into that SPCA program. Now, at Chula, they also offer options for AP classes, and they have this career and technical education courses, or those CTE pathways. They focus on health and sciences, printmaking and graphic design, arts, media, and entertainment. They also have a variety of electives and clubs for your student to choose from. Now, their sports, they have field hockey and they even have roller hockey. I thought that was really interesting. A couple of our schools, we'll find out, actually have roller hockey as well. They also offer many other athletics as well. Their languages, they focus on Spanish and French. They have about 35 students per class, and they are part of that Compact for Success program that Mrs. Leon told you all about. Our next local high school is Hilltop High. Hilltop has what's called the FLAGS program, which is their Foreign Language and Global Studies program. Now, this one does require an application, kind of like some of the other programs that you're going to hear about during this presentation. So just make a note of that. If your student is really interested in learning more about cultures and languages and just how global studies works, check out Hilltop High and their FLAGS program. They're also part of that Compact for Success program, and they also offer roller hockey as well as many other sports. Now, at Hilltop, there are 2 academies that are 3-year programs. There's an information technology, and then there's a hospitality and tourism program. And then they also have 3 career and technical education, or those CTE pathways. Those are just 2-year programs in sports medicine, arts and media, or engineering and architecture. They also have a wide variety of electives with over 30 student clubs. The languages that they focus on, this school probably has the most languages that we will see in our presentation today, mostly because of that FLAGS program. They have Japanese, Spanish, Chinese, German, Italian, and French, and then each class has about 35 students. The next school that we're going to go over, this is probably one of the more unique schools. If your student is looking for something that's more customized, where they get to make their own schedule, kind of learn at their own pace, you might want to check out Innovation High. And looking down at the bottom right, you might find that building very familiar. I know I see it all the time when I drive down that way. So Innovation High is 100% free public education. It's for students who are about 14 to 24 years old. You can enroll anytime, so they have that continuous open enrollment, and they follow more of a one-on-one teaching and tutoring model. And you actually get to make your own schedule, which means that you get to learn at your own pace. They do also offer CTE courses, dual enrollment, and they also have an athletics program. Our next high school is Bayfront Charter High School. Bayfront does offer dual enrollment. They actually have three career pathways, and they have an early college pathway, which allows for students to complete 1 to 2 years of college while they earn their high school diploma. So in 2025, 75% of their students completed one or more dual enrollment courses with a C or better. So their sports include things like volleyball, cross country, cheer, and many others. Their languages are both Spanish and American Sign Language. They have about 18 to 32 students per class, and they also offer a variety of AP classes. Our next high school is Cristo Rey High School. Now, Cristo Rey has a very powerful learning model. Their students, starting their freshman year, actually spend 1 day a week with one of over 46 San Diego companies. It's part of their corporate work study program. And this is really where some of those CTE courses and skills come into play because the students are spending 1 day a week for all 4 years working a job that they may be interested in. And another unique thing about Cristo Rey is that they have a 100% acceptance rate to four-year universities, meaning that every single student who went to Cristo Rey who applied for a four-year university actually ended up getting accepted. So they have over 80 university partnerships and they offer direct admittance and up to full financial aid. They have a very robust AP course offering, and their class sizes, they usually have about 20 students per class. They, of course, have sports, and their languages are both Spanish and French. And then something interesting that they shared with us was that 87% of students had never experienced any bullying, and the 13% who had experienced bullying said that the issue was fully addressed within 2 weeks or less. Now, please note something important to know before you commit to Cristo Rey High School. They are an affordable Catholic school. Families usually end up paying about $80 a month, and they are an application school. So you would have to apply just to attend Cristo Rey. And their deadline this year is April 1st. So make sure that you stop back and talk with Cristo Rey if that's something that you might be interested in. Okay, next up, we have Chula Vista Learning Community Charter High School, or CDLCC. CDLCC offers program pillars in dual language, global perspective, social justice, and community engagement. They also have a rigorous college prep and dual language program that's delivered in both Spanish and English. Now, something interesting that's really going to help with some college applications or even job applications. When students graduate from CVLCC, they actually earn two California seals on their diploma. They get the California Seal of Biliteracy and the California Seal of Civic Engagement. And if you do attend CVLCC, there are two ways to earn college credits. That's through AP courses, or UCSD also offers courses on campus at CVLCC. Now, their sports include things like volleyball, soccer, water polo, and many others. Their arts, they focus on ballet, flamenco, dance. They even have AP art classes and more traditional art classes, and they have a dance team. Now, their class sizes, it's usually about 28 students per class. Our next high school is E3. If you have ever driven on the 5, you may have seen that big dome building, that downtown library by downtown San Diego. That's where E3 is located. And at E3, they have college partnerships. They also offer AP courses, and they really build themselves as innovative, real world learning that happens in every single class. Now, at E3, when students are in their senior year, that's when they would start to get into those internships and really do some on the job training and career exploration. They do also offer CTE pathways in computer science, entrepreneurship and design, and visual and media arts. Now, E3 is a dedicated college counseling and applicant support school. That means that they actually have people who just focus on college counseling and application support. And another thing that I really want to highlight with E3 is that when students are at E3, they actually develop what they call design thinking projects. And a lot of those end up becoming real businesses. So they, of course, also have a wellness program with counselors, and they use a lot of social emotional learning strategies. They have clubs and athletics as well. And even their advisory enrichment, I want to highlight this, they offer kayaking. So I thought that that was really cool. They also offer that state seal of biliteracy and the state seal of civic engagement. Now, our final high school that we're going to talk about today is High Tech High. Now, High Tech High is not just about technology, and we'll get into that a little bit more. They actually partner with the University of San Diego so that students can take community college courses through the San Diego Community College District. And they also have a partnership with Southwestern College. They, of course, have a great sports program. And something unique about High Tech High is that when students are in their junior year, they spend 3 weeks in an internship. So that's kind of that on the job career exploration that we've talked about with some of our other school sites. Now, at High Tech High, they have a dual emphasis on liberal arts and science education. They really focus on the environmental sciences. So, again, don't think that just because tech is in the name that they are only a technology school. They do a lot more than that. Now, 92% of students who graduate from High Tech High actually end up entering college. So, they do follow a random lottery. This is something really important to know because at High Tech High, they receive over 1,000 applicants, but they only have about 150 spaces. Their language is Spanish, and they have about 20 to 28 students per a class. Okay, Feaster families, those are just a few of your high school options for your current eighth grader, soon to be ninth grader. And we hope that you take some time to explore some of these options and be sure to go talk to a few of the schools. Thank you all so much. Bye, Feaster families.